Talking Cougar soccer with the head coach of the women and the men's squad at Columbia College here. As we talked earlier, the Cougar women's team off to California to play in the opening round of the NAIA Women's National Tournament, one of 32 teams to advance to the national tournament. Something the men's team had done the previous couple of seasons off to the national tournament, even hosting here a couple of years ago. Last year was the hosting with the Cardinal Stritch match. Back and reloaded for another trip to the national tournament this year, and unfortunately early on, the landscape of your players was some serious injuries, taking out a lot of your early firepower. Was an early curveball for you guys to overcome, and you did that. But talk a little bit about some of the injuries that took you guys off the beaten path, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I think early on, we had a terrific opportunity to bring Eden Campara into our program. Came in last spring. He was a transfer from within the conference, but second game of the year, he gets the season-ending knee injury. The only good thing about that is that he'll get that entire year back, and we'll have Eden for 3 full seasons, and he will be permitted to compete in conference play. So he wasn't going to be permitted to compete in conference play this year. So in the end, he's going to get 3 solid years for us, and he's going to be a great player. He and Marko Paunovic, Bosnian and Serbian, those two were teaming up. They were enjoying each other's company, and they were entertaining everybody that watched them play soccer. And connecting in the preseason, it just looked like our attack was going to be just a powerhouse. And we had some, brought in a bunch of new players, freshmen and JUCO transfers, and really believed that we had a high-powered attack. And I think in many cases we did. We had Rafa Ramos back, but he came in, he was hurt, he was injured. But the 3 of them together, Eden, Marko, and Rafa, would have been extremely difficult to manage. Rafa didn't get settled in until about midway through the season. So after Eden got hurt, Marko carried us, and then about 10 or 11 games in, Marko goes down with the season-ending injury. So extremely disappointing, for both those young men, and they handled it well. They're going through their recovery process, and both should be back next year and should make us strong again in the attack. But it just interrupted the flow of the season, and the guys fought it, and and then Rafa took over, about conference time, and he had the 4-goal game against Missouri Baptist, something that I don't think I've ever seen before, and his brilliance took over, and in fact he winds up being Player of the Year in the conference. But it seemed like we struggled, and we fought, and we just didn't play with the same confidence down the stretch as we did in the beginning of the season.
I think the obvious question coming in with the graduation of 3 of your 4 in the back, the big question was going to be, okay, what's that back 4 going to look like? How are we going to be able to work guys in and build from the defense out, and not necessarily be worried about the offense? And then all of a sudden, now you had both kind of in play with the newness of the back 4 in front of Matt McKenna in goal, and those guys did very, very well and adjusted well. And I think the back 4 was pretty solid all year, but at the same time, the level of what they were replacing was so high that the expectations were quite a hill to climb for them. But
no, it really was. We knew that. We knew we were going to be young and new in the back. I think we felt like the makeup of our team was going to be different this year. We were going to be more attack-minded and just getting settled in the back. But we did have some terrific performances back there. But like you said, replacing a 4-time All-American, replacing a back 4 that had over 20 shutouts in the previous 2 years was not going to be easy. And again, didn't give up more than 2 goals in any contest all year, but we seemed to give up the goal of the game, and often it was the first goal of the game, and causing us to fight from behind, and that wears on you as time goes on. But at postseason play, I think everybody was organized and giving it everything they had, and we realized that at any point, any team in the conference could win. And we knew we were going to be in a 1-goal match in most of our postseason games. I don't think that first game postseason, I think we beat Lyon by more than 1. But the game against Hannibal, we fought back, we tied it up, and and in the end they got the late goal and the season was over. So disappointing, but something still there to build on, and I think the guys are excited about next year.
Certainly on the men's side, with some additions of new teams with Mid-Continent and with Freed Hardman coming into the conference this season, it seemed like, as we mentioned, any number one of those teams could win, and it wasn't surprising that it came down to the conference being decided on PKs for Park to end up winning the championship. Your team was in a lot of matches. We saw 4 finishes here at R. Marvin on the men's side, 2 going your way, 2 going against, in just crazy fashion, with Rafa's goal to beat William Woods to start the double overtime where he kicked it from 40 yards out or whatever it was, and then the win on Saturday in the opening round of the tournament, down 1-0 with 17 to go, and all of a sudden you get 3 in the final 12 minutes. The Park shocker at the end of the end of the first overtime, and then the one there at the end of the season with less than 2 minutes to go. But it seemed like all season long you knew at some point that you were going to be in a dogfight every match. It's just a matter of whether you could get that extra couple of goals, or that second goal at least, to try and put them ahead.
Yeah, just a lot of parity in the conference, a lot of good players out there, a lot of good coaches, getting their teams prepared for postseason, and everybody was organized end of the year, and everybody was fighting for the same opportunity to go to the national tournament. And really, in the end, only one team from our conference was going to get to the national tournament. It was going to be the conference tournament winner. And in the end, Park did it. And after starting out, not in the most positive fashion early in the year, you have to credit Park for finding it, getting organized, and winning the conference. Once again, we're one tie away from winning the conference 2 years in a row. The ties have come back to haunt us, and we tied 2 matches, only lost 1 match, but Park lost 2 matches in the conference, but we didn't quite get there point wise. So that's the way it is, and I think it just has to make the guys hungrier next year and realize we're trying to get back on top of the conference.
Talk about the seniors, a couple of the 4-year guys, obviously Matt McKenna in goal, and then Adam McChesney as well, a couple of the 4-year guys, really heart and soul guys, especially Matt with what he had done his sophomore and junior year with all the shutouts, as you mentioned, and then another solid season this year in goal for number 99. Talk about your keeper.
Yeah, Matt had an outstanding career at Columbia College, and I know he's disappointed to go out without going to the national tournament one more time. But had some terrific years there behind Nicola and Tom Vincent and Dan Rapp, and was able to help carry that group to multiple shutouts and multiple national tournament trips. And he goes out, and he's going to be one great alum for the Cougars. He had a great career. He lives and dies Cougar soccer, on a daily basis. And I know he was disappointed, but he should be proud of his career. And then Adam McChesney, his teammate from Vianney High School, late in the year, Adam hadn't seen the field a lot this year, but like you said, the heart and soul of the team, a leader, leaves everything he has on the field, and down the stretch, he carried us. He was a starter, and he gave us energy late in the year when we thought we were losing it and we couldn't find it. So I think Adam brought a lot of that back, and we'll miss him as well.
He hit a big goal in the road game in the final game of the season at Hannibal. And now on one side, as you're the coach for both teams, you got to play 2 hats, and your mind obviously now at this point concentrating on the women, but at some point then the recruiting continues and begins as the high school. How do you balance with obviously with some other assistants, but with all the boys' high school soccer seasons now winding up into the Final Fours, as far as scouting some of the future men athletes for the men's team? How does that play into the next couple of months?
It did postpone. We won't see the boys' state tournament this weekend, and we were going to have a group in this week. We did ask them to come back in a week or 2 after the girls' tournament ends. So I think it's a lot of phone work right now, and Nicola and Megan are doing a great job of helping identify players. I think that we'll find a new group of JUCOs to join us, and a new group of freshmen and kids right out of high school, and I'm sure that we'll add 2 or 3 more internationals. So I don't think it changes things. Maybe it delays it just a little bit because the girls have extended their season, but to put it off 1 more week, 2 more weeks, we'll be fine. A lot of that identification has already taken place, and I think we'll have a nice group in here mid-December, and probably another one in January and February. And it won't be done till next August, but I think we'll have another competitive program by next August.
And then at some point the wheels start turning again on that replacement as far as your assistant. I'm sure that'll be the next as far as the coaching staff is concerned. After Coach Deshay left for the Ottawa Braves a year ago in July, you'll be filling that position here after the seasons are finished.
That's an immediate priority that we'll identify as soon as the girls are done. Within a week, I would think. I'll have sat down and discussed it. Even Drew Grisella, assistant athletic director, mentioned it last week, and we'll set aside some time and figure out exactly what direction we want to take that.
All right, well, good luck with that. Obviously, good luck for the ladies in the national tournament, the trip to California. Hopefully, you start working the travel agency move to a trip to Alabama then for another run would be fantastic. And I think this is a team that definitely has the skill set offensively and defensively to maybe catch a team and make a good little run in the national tournament. Good luck.
Thank you.
Coach John Klein, the Columbia College Cougars. Again, for more on the tournament, for the national tournament for the women, on the website columbiacougars.com. There's some links that'll take you right to the NAIA page. You can follow along on live video, live stats, and more for the women's team as they make their run through the national tournament. Thanks for watching. This has been Chat with Coach John Klein, Cougar soccer coach on Mediacom Channel 22.